For further analysis, we are joined from Al Khalil by Fatah movement spokesperson Dr. Meher Al-Namoura. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Qnews. And let me here start by asking you, how does the expansion of Israel's ground maneuver affect Gaza's civilians?
Evening, everyone. Of course, the effect is it increases the number of the people who die, the Palestinian people, and it is actually a cleansing war on the people in Gaza for more than 23 months. But these days, things have escalated since the extremist community have declared that they took over the whole Gaza Strip that has more than 1 million displaced people and Palestinians that live on the streets and in tents, in mosques and in churches that face Israeli strikes every day, air strikes and land strikes as well, and they live in starvation and fear in diseases. So this is an ongoing crime that has escalated these past few days. And it is called a full-on war on the Gaza Strip.
Now, what legal frameworks govern evacuations without inspection in conflict zones?
There is no law for the Israeli occupation. It is just killing, brutality, cleansing. There is an international law that governs the occupation countries that kill the civilians and takes over lands. There are they have to provide them with the occupation has to provide them with food, water, etc. for people living under the occupation. But the occupation that we're talking about, there are no international community, no laws, no Red Crescent that are documenting what's happening and providing the civilians with their rights that they are entitled to according to the international law for the people who are living under the occupation in the Gaza Strip. And so we are sending a message for the Red Crescent to start actually taking a stance to and taking action to protect the Palestinians and to put an end to the atrocities happening in Gaza.
Now, how viable is the Witkoff proposal in ending hostilities and enabling aid?
It is very clear that the American envoy has been working for a very long time, and it is just all talk and no walk. And so we need, after all this, to reach a ceasefire and to end this war and this genocide and to save the remaining people. But the only one capable of pressuring Israel and stopping this and putting a ceasefire is and so we are wondering how Israel and Iran's war stopped in about 12 hours. Why hasn't it ended in Gaza? We're not talking about a country against country. No, we have occupation arms who are fighting and having a war on civilians, on women, on children. Every day buildings are being destroyed, mosques, churches, schools, everything that could be destroyed is destroyed, and lots of people are being killed. And so we need the American government to stop the American veto that talks about a ceasefire and stopping the atrocities and standing or having the Palestinians back. But the general community and the veto are not doing anything.
Now, how crucial is an immediate ceasefire for both aid delivery for the suffering Palestinians inside and at the same time hostage release?
Of course, a ceasefire saves the Palestinians and saves the hostages and the detainees, and it puts a hope to reach an exchange agreement, and an agreement that puts an end to this genocide and this catastrophe, and also gets the detainees and the hostages, the Israeli ones, to their country, and also getting back the Palestinian hostages, and then everything will stop, and the atrocities against the civilians. And as we saw yesterday, how everything's being destroyed, even buildings that have hundreds of families because of Israeli airstrikes, and there is no justification for these operations, and uh, y- having just removing everything off of the face of the earth in Gaza and destroying it.
Now, how do aid restrictions by Israel exacerbate Gaza's humanitarian disaster?
There is a seize on medical equipment, on food, on water that is happening in Gaza, and so ever since the starvation has started, they haven't received any humanitarian or medical or food aid. They barely receive anything, and the convoys that enter aren't nowhere near enough to satisfy the needs. There are children who are being born who need medical attention. They need milk. They need their moms need a good nutrition, and so anyone they couldn't stay alive. Everything that they need to live isn't provided for them. Medical attention, the medical staff, anything that the hospitals need. The hospitals have been all destroyed now.
Now, how far is Egypt's support for the UNRWA is effective in alleviating Gaza's crisis?
Egypt has played a crucial and a very important role. It is an exceptional role in supporting the Palestinians, supporting Gaza, being ready, sending convoys, sending humanitarian aid. They send thousands of convoys from the Rafah crossing on Egypt's side, but this aid has almost expired because the occupation forces wouldn't allow it to enter into the Gaza Strip. But we still know that Egypt has been putting so much effort into having these convoys and trucks delivered to Gaza. They have meddled. They have condemned the Israel's action on stripping the Palestinians of their rights and of the aid that they need, and Egypt has been playing a crucial role to keep the children alive.
Now, to which extent do you think Egypt's proposed conference for the reconstruction of Gaza would reshape Gaza's future?
We are 100% sure that in the second that a ceasefire happens and the atrocities stop, and reaching or actually having this conference that Egypt and other countries have been working on to provide support, financial support for the reconstruction of Gaza will be very successful, and we are well aware that other countries and other people from different countries have been supporting Gaza and have been supporting the recognition of Palestine as a sovereign state in the upcoming meeting of the international community, like France and the UK. And so yes, this gives us so much hope, and gives us hope that we will have the necessary finances to reconstruct Gaza and to provide help and medical attention to the people who have lost so much because of the atrocities and the strikes.
Well, that was Dr. Meher Al-Namoura from Al Khalil, Fatah Movement spokesperson. We thank you so much for joining us here on Qnews.